What's up, everybody? In today's video we are going to review the already released Hammond collection, Lost World Velociraptor and Stegosaurus. So I'm kind of late for this review. It's been like I don't know, like this guy's released in July 2, I believe. So these guys have like 20 something days out already. So yeah, and this guy released since June, I believe. So yeah, I guess better than never having a review for these guys. So let's do this. So this is the Stegosaurus. So let's get this guy out of the way and let's review the Stegosaurus. He's a pretty cool figure in my opinion. Um, but we need to talk about several things I would like for this figure to have. So the spikes on the back and by the neck are all rubber, as you can see, all rubber. For child safety, as you can see. So everything is rubber mostly. You have a wired tail, as you can see, so you can bend it about that much. So you can have him like whacking his tail at, I don't know, a carnivore, I guess, or a human. So his articulation is so. You could look about that down, about that high, and the head is 360. Glass eyes, as you can see. Mouth doesn't open. Okay, this is one of the issues I had with this figure. Mouth doesn't open. I'm quite upset. Same thing as a Triceratops. Man, I'm upset this has to happen with these figures, but it just happens. Yeah, he's pretty hefty as a figure. This is plastic. This is like hard rubber. Feels like rubber. But yeah, it feels like it has plastic inside. You can see. So let's get to articulation. You have about that much of a bend. You could 360 this, I think. Yeah. You have bend right here in the arms. It's quite hard. So, yeah. You have like a 90-degree bend right here. I suppose it doesn't look that bad. So, pose them like that. Back legs bent about that much. But if you need to stabilize this guy, like have him in a good pose, or else the tail's too heavy. So maybe have the tail up in the air or something. No, that's gonna make it even worse. But yeah, this guy doesn't have much articulation. I wish he had articulation by the torso right here, so you could like bend him a little bit more, so the tail would be a little bit more over here, so that it would look like it was giving the effect like this thing's gonna whack you, like boom, like in the Lost World film. But yeah, this guy, I guess, yeah, he just does this sometimes when he's off balanced. Not my favorite Hammond collection, but he's pretty detailed one and pretty decent one too. So now let's get to the Velociraptor. So here's the Velociraptor. He is one out of 3 of these small ones that released in this wave of Hammond collection. We have Velociraptor, Stegimoloch, and Troodon. I haven't counted the Troodon, just that I've never gotten them. He's a pretty skinny figure. He's taller than the Velociraptor, but he's pretty skinny. So yeah, we have Velociraptor. He's a very cool looking figure. So yeah, he's basically a repaint of the Jurassic World, no, Jurassic Park ones. As you can see, so mouth opens like that. close is about that much. And I think his lower lip is much longer than the top one. You can see. That's why I realized this one was a Jurassic Park Velociraptor. You have arms extend about that much, bend about 90 degree, 360. Of course, you have the ankle articulation. So as you can see, pretty decent. Leg extends about that much. You could do 360 with this, but don't recommend it because as you can see, that thing was like snapping, cracking because of this thing. You have a wired tail as always, which is pretty cool. So yeah, now let's get this guy with scale comparison, shall we? So here we have Hammond Collection, The Lost World, Velociraptor next to Hammond Collection, Jurassic World, Blue Velociraptor. These two are pretty cool, not the same mold. As you can see, Jurassic Park's Velociraptor has a bigger head. I think skinnier arms. But yeah, they're pretty much the same height, same length as well. But yeah, overall the head is a little bit bulkier. This guy's head is much smaller, but wider. This guy's head is much longer, as you can see. So I think this guy's the one with the bulky head. This guy's with the skinny head. So you can see he has a much shorter snout, and this guy has like a much longer one, as you can see, which is pretty cool. And now we have Lost World Velociraptor next to Jurassic Park's Metricantosaurus. Never officially appeared in the film, but his DNA sample did. So that is pretty cool. So here is the Lost World Velociraptor next to the Fallen Kingdom Carnotaurus. As you can see, Carnotaurus is pretty much bigger. Scale's the same as the film, so I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, these guys are pretty cool next to each other. So now we have the Stegosaurus next to the Carnotaurus, as you can see. The scale, great, you know, pretty much the same thing as the film. So these guys are pretty cool. Now let's get into Metricantosaurus in. Stegosaurus is pretty much bigger as Metricantosaurus. So yeah. So this is basically the review for the Hammond Collection, Stegosaurus, and the Hammond Collection Tiger Velociraptor from the Lost World, both of them. Yeah, you know, this is a review. I wasn't really looking up to this review, to be honest with you. But you know, I guess I just did it. But that'd be all for this video. 1 out of 10, what do I give this, guys? I give the Velociraptor a solid 8.5. I think he's pretty cool. I just wish he had a little bit more detail on his feet right here, and that this claw would move up and down like in the film, so you could recreate like the tapping. So that'd be pretty cool. For Stegosaurus, again, I would like a joint right here so he could like bend a little, and you could give that effect that he's like lunging his tail at you, or like, yeah. And overall, that his mouth would open. I give the Stegosaurus I'm gonna say 7.5. Okay, 7.5. This is one of the low. This is basically the lowest. The figure with the lowest rating of this month, just because mouth doesn't open, you don't have point of articulation right here, and yeah, I mean, that's basically it. These two are excellent figures. Do I recommend these two? Absolutely yes. If you want to have a solid, detailed Stegosaurus, get this guy. Um, and these two are perfect companions next to each other. They look fantastic. I would recommend getting 2 or 3 Velociraptors because they look fantastic impacts. So, yeah, this is a review. Leave in the comments your opinion on these guys, and leave a like, subscribe. Hope to see you next one, and drop any other reviews you would like for this channel in the comments. So, peace out, guys.